Welcome back to another Pogo Bros production. Virtual Beebs here, and today we're going to talk about the Evolution Cup. And I know, crazy, Pogo Bros actually sticking with the current GBL rotation. Insanity. Parallel universe, alternate reality, go buy a lottery ticket. Anyways, no need to give an introduction to Charjabug. If you've played this cup at all, then you've seen these all over the place. Togetic is also a fairly popular pick, although you might find some variation on the movesets. The real star of this show here today is rank 1, level 50.5 Corvisquire. That's right. The big brother, so to speak, Corviknight, has been taking over Great League and Ultra League for a long time, but it's time to give Corvisquire its flowers. Sporting decent bulk, pretty decent moveset, and great coverage against the ghost types that you'll see in this cup, namely dusclops and maybe some doublades here and there. But like I said, gonna keep this short and sweet, just like a Sinisty. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it, my previous one. And if you're new here, definitely subscribe if you like the content. And if you're no stranger here, welcome back. Please like and comment as it keeps the algorithm favorable. Anyways, let's get this going. All right. Laren in the lead. Oh yeah, by the way, Rock completely core breaks our entire team, so this is fantastic. But since it has Metal Sound as its fast move, if it's going to be paired against any of our team, it's hopefully going to be the little school bus here. So obviously we're going to shield this up. We've already gotten them to lower than half health because of our neutral stab attacks, and now they come in with a metang. And I highly recommend putting Crunch on your Charjabug for also dealing with the metang here. Now they're at the halfway point. We can tank one Psy Shock, and we're going to go ahead and go for a move here to see what they want to do. They have to start using these shields somewhere, and they actually let this one through as well. Interesting. So yeah, definitely shouldn't have baited right there, but that's okay. We actually take out the metang entirely, and they come in with their Ursaring now, and this is when we come in with our Togetic because we at least have neutral coverage with our heat waves. We're going to definitely shield that up. Now that we have quite a bit of energy here, we're going to try and pressure some shields because they need to at some point. They gave us a shield right there, and then we go for a back-to-back Psy Shock here. We get both shields. I would say these were shields not well spent on their part, but they put themselves in that position, and now they are somewhat dry energy, but they switch out into the Ursaring, and this is when Corvisquire really thrives in the zero shield here. We can tank whatever they throw here. They can't go for a close combat because we do not have a normal sub-typing on this Pokemon here. It's a pure flying type. Taking them out with the Sky Attack, and then we go for a nifty catch, but instead we farm them down because they weren't able to do so with the Metal Sounds. GG's. Alright, Shiny Morgrem in the lead here, and okay, this is great for us. A lot of opponents are not expecting Crunch on the Charjabug here, and we nearly take them out entirely. Actually, really cool shiny Shadow Flex by the opponent, but they're gonna have to flex a lot better than that in order to beat us here. We get a nice Fairy Wind farm down, and they have a shiny Clang in the back. Okay, now I'm impressed. You have got my attention. You had my curiosity at first, but now you have my attention. Anyways, they do correctly shield up our first Heat Wave here. We do shield up the non-stab Thunderbolt. Even though it's not stab, that would still hurt a lot. And now we're going to go ahead and go for this Heat Wave here. They give us both shields, and then we try to go for a catch. Instead, they switch into their Morgrem, which is fine with us because we definitely want to get some damage on that. And we do get to this second discharge before they get to a foul play here. Excellent for us, takes them out, and they're going to still have to throw energy to take us out because, again, Metal Sound does nothing to this Charjabug. They go for the Vice Grip there to take us out and save a little bit on energy, so we're going to wait our switch clock out. Actually, no, we're not. We're feeling pretty good about this one. You know what? Let them throw their energy because this is a Corvisquire showcase. They can take us out with the Thunderbolt, and now it's a race to the payback. Can we get there in time? No. But do we survive this? That is the real question. Let's go. Getting a few extra pecks in there to get as much damage before sending off the payback. Taking out the Steel type. Let's go. Corvisquire showing who's boss. Anyways, GG's. Shadow Dusclops in the lead, and I cannot stand Dusclop leads against my Charjabug. The opponent decided not to throw on optimal timing and allowing us to get to a move, which is a huge mistake because if you are a Dusclops, you can throw after 5 hexes, and then you can throw after your 6th hex too. And at that point, I wouldn't have gotten any moves across, but that is okay. We actually did get into the 2600s with this, so if you wouldn't see that kind of gameplay in the 2600s, but we're going to go ahead and take it here. Now they have a Chansey here, and this is going to be a very long, gradual battle right here. You might want to go make yourself a cup of coffee or whatever you do to get yourself ready for the day, or if you're at the tail end of the day, get a beverage from the fridge or something like that. Anyways, they go for the hyper beam because their attack is so low it does not even take us out, and these Zen headbutts are not going to do anything to us. So we bank the energy, and now we're gonna go ahead and chip away with our charjabug, forcing them to switch out now, and we're gonna be able to, okay, yeah, they didn't throw a poltergeist, so we're gonna survive, and now they're gonna have to throw their second shadow punch. This is what they should have been doing in the opening matchup, but I'm not here to tell them how to play. I'm totally cool with it, and we're gonna go ahead and throw the payback here, see if they respect it or know about it. They do not. We take them out, and now we go back into a togetic, and this is a horrible matchup with the sealeo here. Absolutely awful, dreadful, I might say. Yeah, I could have even thrown a heat wave right there so that way we get them into the yellow. That is okay though. We do call the body slam, but at this point it's looking rough. But they come in with the Chansey, and that could be a huge mistake because this gives us an opportunity to load up on energy. We undercharge, and you know what? This is worth shielding. The Chansey attack is next to nothing, but the Zen headbutts do next to nothing as well, and we're able to double up on energy. And now we're going to switch into the Corviknight to get some energy on that, and then we actually get to the sky attack with the Corvisquire. I said Corviknight earlier, whoops. They let it through, and it's a CMP tie. Worst case scenario for the opponent. This is wonderful, and we're just going to go ahead and farm them down because if we throw our moves, their powder snows might take us out first. GG's. Okay. We have a purified dusclops in the lead, and this reminds me of about 5-6 years ago when purified dusclops was the move, and they throw the poltergeist, nearly taking us out. Oh my goodness, this might as well be a dusclops from years ago because they had the nuke on hand. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and throw some sky attack action out into this sealeo, getting it close to the yellow but not quite, but we're able to get to another move before they powder snow us down. That is the bulk of the rank 1 Corvisquire in full display, able to get a shield in what is otherwise an abysmal mid-game matchup, getting the final shield with the charjabug now, and now we just tried to take as little damage as possible here. We do call the surf correctly, but they have another move right here, and I don't know whether we want to hold on to that last shield. We're going to hold on to it because we don't know what is in the back. Farming up as much as we can, and the question is, does this Psy Shock take out the sealeo? It's going to be close. Yes, it does. So now we have energy going into the remaining Pokemon here. This Dusclops obviously does not have Shadow Punch, so we're able to go ahead and throw this on good timing without worry of them throwing, and we're going to shield up whatever they throw right here. They have Ice Punch, so now they come in with a Marsh Stomp, and yikes, yeah, too little too late. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and save us all some time right there. Nothing we can do right there. Tough matchup. Once we took that Poltergeist, it was over. GG's. Anyways, we have a Dartrix lead, and they switch now into a Charjabug, which is great for us because we still have Heat Wave. Taking out more than half of their health right there. Now we can go for a cheaper move and see if they want a shield. Yep, so now we marginally save some energy there. I think we saved about like 5 energy or something like that, but it adds up because we get to force them to throw their energy quicker. And now we're just going to absorb whatever they throw here. They have the X Scissor, and now we know that they need 2 to the next one, and that's when we make the catch on the Corvisquire. You're going to be seeing that a lot in this video. That's my favorite thing to do with this team, just catching Charjabug moves on the flyers in the back. And we're going to go ahead and shield. Oh, we have to use our shield at some point. But now that we know that they threw a Seed Bomb, this definitely will not hurt. So we're going to just let it through. We don't have to fear the Brave Bird. And we need to take this Dartrix out. We need to take it out. All right, that's done. Okay, now what they're going to come in with is the Charjabug. And we try to go for a fancy catch, but we do get a nice farm down here, loaded on energy with our own school bus. Now we're just going to throw away at this Primeape, already to our second discharge before they even throw a single Rage Fist, which is awesome. And now they're going to throw a move here. They would probably need the Ice Punch to take us out. They go for the Rage Fist. We survive on minimal HP, throwing a little BM right here. Discharge would have gotten it done, but we wanted to just let Corvisquire finish it out. You know the deal. You can't blame us. Anyways, Shadow Dusclops in the lead. Very spicy, very thoughtful, very original Pokemon in the lead here. This is not the Poltergeist, so we're going to go ahead and take that. And as you see here, this opponent knows how to play the lead Dusclops matchup, getting both Shadow Punches off before we get any moves off, forcing us to throw on inopportune timing in order to not go over 100 energy. And now we're just going to go ahead and throw this Discharge. Now that we've shown the crunch, we do get the second shield, and now it's up to the opponent to take us out before we go ahead and bring in our flyers. It actually does take us out, interesting, but now they have a Golbat in there, and this is looking fantastic because we have Size Shock on our Togetic, and they have no shields, nearly taking them out, bringing in the Corvisquire now that we can presumably fast move them down. We do call the Shadow Ball as opposed to the Poison Fang. That is a huge shield right there because we get the full farm down now, and we have loaded energy for whatever they decide to come back in with. And they're going to come in with the Dusclops. They're in the green health, if you saw that, by the way. Check this out. Boom! Payback, taking them out. Primeape in the back, looking for some. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and throw a move here. It don't matter. I don't even care if it's an Ice Punch. We would still survive. And then we're going to go for this Sky Attack for the closeout right here. Let's go. Actually, that was a sweep, by the way, by Corvisquire. Let's go, baby. All right. They started with a Togetic, and then they go into their Dusclops now. Very easy, very safe swap in this meta, but that's okay. We get some energy on the charjabug before switching out, and we leave them in the green, giving them a false sense of security. We will take what Ice Punch. We do not want to tip off that we are going to do something very sinister to this Dusclops here. And do they respect it? They do not. And that is a non-Shadow Dusclops, by the way. So it's not just that the Shadow is very glassy. It's just Corvisquire hits like a truck on Dusclops, and it's getting away with it in broad daylight. Well, actually, it's nighttime at the time of this battle, but whatever. Anyways, we do force them to take the Heat Wave to take us out, which is fine. They do come in with the Crocalor at a very inopportune time because they got nearly an entire free Incinerate, but that is okay because they also decided to throw on inopportune timing, and we will take that. Going to throw this Size Shock now, get that shield right there. They're going to have to start shielding anything at this point, and if they're going to be shielding something, I'd rather it be non-stab Size Shocks from a Togetic because those tickle, but you know, that's fine when you don't have much health left. Even the tickles hurt a lot. And so now we have this matchup that we want. Check and mate, my friend. We didn't use a knight to win that game of chess. We used Esquire, which is not a chess piece, but there goes my joke. Anyways, the opponent is staying in with this Sealeo. I don't know their logic here. They must not want to see the school bus in the back, so we're gonna have to shield up that Surf right there. And they go ahead and take the Volt Switch on the Doublade, but we have our Togetic ready to go. They're shielding up. They know what the deal is here. Gyro Ball would hurt a lot, so we're going to respect that. And then we're going to go ahead and throw this Heat Wave right here, stalling that Switch Clock. These are very quick charge moves. It would be perfect if we can get it on the charjabug. Oh baby, is that the Gyro Ball? Yes it is. Oh man, we are in a great situation, and this is actually best case scenario because they had a Laren in the back. So the only way to counteract that is with a charjabug that already has energy. This is perfect for us, getting them into the red before they even throw a move. They gotta throw something in order to take us out. It is the Body Slam. It does take us out. This is oh man, they have another move ready to go. It's the Rock Tomb. Oh no, and now they go in with the double A though. They give us a chance. They gave us a chance right here. The Laren is drawing energy. We can get a little bit of excess farm on the Corvisquire. That's going to be close. Then we have to use the payback to take it out. Oh man, this is going to be tough. And they come in the Laren. Oh, and we got scared. No. I didn't know if the Metal Sound would take us out. And then they have the move on the Sealeo. Oh, I remember this match. This one really killed me inside. Oh man. But you see, Beebs is not perfect. Beebs makes a lot of mistakes, but that was a good battle though. I don't care what anyone says. And I did have to look up PV Poke afterwards, and it turns out Corvisquire does have a higher attack than the Sealeo. I didn't know that at the time either. That might have changed how I played that out, played in my win condition, but you know, this is a learning opportunity. Anyways, dusclops here. It is so annoying and spammy, gosh. Yeah, when you find it in the middle of the match and it's just on even footing with your Pokemon and your flyers, oh man, it's a rough time. Anyways, that Bolt coming into play again, getting to this Sky attack on minimal HP, getting them into the red. And we, even though we had so much energy in the charjabug, we knew to just throw that Volt switch so that way they don't get their second move off, and that all that energy goes to waste. And now that the Dusclops is in there, we're just going to throw right away. Forget about good timing. Here you go. And then they come in with the Metang now. So they have 2 shields. I'm going to go ahead and bait here. We got to make something out of nothing. There we go. We save marginally on some energy, but still energy nonetheless. We got to call this right here. It is the Jar Ball. That's a good shield call right there. And now we're going to go for this. Maybe they're expecting a bait here. Nope, they shielded up. They're out of shields right now. Oh, and we get the catch. Oh my gosh. Getting the move off, and it was a sack swap, and it was a defensive drop. Perfect case situation right here. They undercharge, they switch into the Dusclops, we get the farm down, and we survive on 1 HP in a dream. The discharge. Charjabug closing it out, stealing the show. GG's. All right, non-shiny Charjabug in the lead here. You know the deal, what we like to do. We like to catch those moves on the flyers, double resisted X Scissor, forcing them to swap out into the Dusclops here. And this is a matchup that we can be totally fine with. They throw on bad timing right there. We will take it. We will shield up a super effective move just so that way they don't have to resort to shadow punches later in this matchup here. They're going to have to throw the Ice Punch, which is less energy efficient. That's what we're trying to force here. Now that we come back in, after the switch clocks have expired, we're able to get this crunch off. That's fine with us. We force them to switch out now, and they go for the X Scissor. Totally fine here. And we're going to go ahead and get this crunch off. We do not have X Scissor on our school bus here, but they shielded up regardless. Would have been nice to get a defensive drop right there. That is okay. This looks like it might be a CMP tie. Yes, it is. They must have a really good IV Charjabug, because mine is not the worst in the world, despite it being shiny. It's actually pretty decent. It's like top 100. Anyways, now we're back in this matchup with the Dusclops. They go for the Ice Punch, which we can survive. The Hexes do not scare us either. We're going to go ahead and chip this away. Actually, we're going to leave some damage on there. And we actually get the catch on the Corvisquire, which is great because that is as good as a catch. They should be throwing Ice Punch against us, but our health on the Charjabug was so low, or on the Togetic was so low, that they felt it was fine to throw the Shadow Punch. So very little nifty catch on our end. That's definitely something that you'll see in Evolution Cup and nowhere else really. But we're going to throw this Sky attack against the Togetic now, and we are able to... No, we're not able to outpace. They go ahead and throw immediately, so that way they can take us out here, and it's a race now to the move. And they have enough residual energy to where they can get to the Psyshock, and unfortunately it does take us out. GG's. Very well played by the opponent. Just gotta tip your cap sometimes. Really good lead here. Primate against the school bus. They must not want to see the school bus in the back. They only throw a Rage Fist right there. And this is actually gonna be pretty funny because we're gonna probably get a shield here. Yep. And then now we go ahead and... do we respect this move? No, we're just going to let it through. And they come in with a Porygon 2. Very cool pick by the opponent here. But we're going to go ahead and throw this move because they're going to be shielding anything and everything. We got that shield. This could be a Zap Cannon, but we call the bait. But we do get the defense and attack drop. So now this next Tri-Attack would hurt a lot. So we're going to go ahead and shield this up because the switch clock is expiring. We don't want to take another move here, so we do throw debuffed Tri-Attack, but that is okay because they want to switch out now and avoid the farm down into a Metang, and they don't know that we have that crunch. And we get the defensive drop, but they do farm us down right before we get to the move, so that is a little bit tragic. But we're going to wait out our switch clock just to give us some flexibility later in the match. a Psyshock would take us out at this point in time. So we're just putting all of our trust here in the togetic because their Fury Cutters are double resisted. So we definitely want to farm up as much energy as possible here while maintaining the matchup here. We do get the farm down of the metang, and this is perfect because we have enough energy to take out this Primate, over farming ever so slightly, and then having energy to boot for the Porygon 2. Boom. GG's. All right, into the final battle here. Primate in the lead, very favorable. It is not the same match. They come into a Dusclops here. Yeah, this is a very meta team right here, but very effective. Getting them to the half health now with the crunch. Go ahead and throw your move, opponent. Just a Shadow Punch. Now that they're at the halfway point, we're bringing the Corvisquire here. We're looking to maybe get a farm down or over farm considerably before taking them out, or perhaps even forcing a swap. We opt to throw on a CMP tie here, none of the above, taking them out, so we have switch advantage here. Switch clock is about to misalign again. Primate here is going to throw the Rage Fist bait. We would call that rage bait, but we're not mad. We're not mad at all about that. So we go ahead and shield up that move, forcing them to switch out and abandon their double buff on the attack. This is fantastic for us. That is a win. And we're going to start throwing these Psyshocks over at the Crocalor here. The pacing on Togetic with Psyshock is amazing because we're able to get to so many moves before they even throw one. And I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't even count on two hands the number of times I've seen Flamethrower Crocalors. Until that proves otherwise, we're not shielding nothing. Anyways, we do have this Psyshock right here, finally getting a shield from them, saving that for later. We have energy on the charjabug here, surviving the Incinerate, getting that last shield, coming in with the Primate. Now we have enough health from remaining from the Incinerate, taking them out, and then we have to force them to throw here, which is totally cool because we still have two Pokemon in the back, and you know how we like to do. We like to finish with a little BM. Come here, you Crocalor. I'm not even going to hit all the bubbles. Let's go. GG's. And those are the battles. Had to get another quick upload out there. This one actually on time. Hopefully you found these battles really cool. I know this meta can be very narrow, very condensed. Just you see a lot of the same stuff. But if you just scan PvPoke a little bit, you might see some outlier picks. This one is actually, even though it's a rank 1, it's not that rare because you can get Rookies from max battles, and you can get the 10-15 very easily. And once you get that, you just got to best buddy it, but that's not the worst thing in the world. This couple will come back in the future, and by then you can have your Corvisquire ready to go. I highly recommend it. Hopefully you enjoyed these battles. If you're new here and you ended up staying this long, thank you so much. Your support means the world to me. Definitely should subscribe because I have a lot more really cool battles on the horizon. Definitely leave a like, drop a comment, tell me how your season's going, what you want to see in the next season. Anyways, have a great day, have a great weekend, have a great whenever you're watching this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Virtual Beebs out. Peace.